I think like what, 2 years maybe?
2 years.
Possibly. But only the last year have I really started using it though. But
Okay, well,
yeah.
let's say a
Still.
year. Let's say a year full time, full use, right?
Right.
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 So you are using a service promoted as to one that you can go on and stream your gameplay if you want. Oh, look at this. In fact, I'm watching MLG Pro Ninja right now play Halo 4. Right now. Right this
Hitman
second.
can't do that because he's Canadian.
That's right. And I'm watching the game right now. Is this guy banned? No, he's not banned. You're banned for what? Doing the same thing?
Are we thinking
What's
that this
going
is?
on?
Are we thinking this is like some sort of Canadian sort of a backlash here? Some Canada backlash? So for anyone that doesn't know, let's give a little bit of backstory. Top of the show, people are already upset. LB might have a fucking aneurysm right now. I don't know. He's really upset. Luckily, we're both drinking beer tonight, so hopefully by the end of the show we'll be calm. But basically what happened, so Twitch gave poor Hit, if you don't know Hit's channel, well, it doesn't matter because it's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, sick burn. So basically, he had a channel on Twitch where he was streaming gameplay. He's done a lot of stuff for the show, blah, 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 all that nonsense. And he got a DMC takedown notice. Not only was he banned, or suspended, I should say, but apparently copyright holders have the power to sway Twitch to actually remove your account permanently from their service if they deem it a valid reason, right? So what happened? What happened, Hit? Fill us in.
Yeah, no, I just got an oh man. I just got an email from Twitch around lunch saying that my account was suspended. I emailed them back, and after a lengthy conversation, they told me that my account was permanently banned at the request of a copyright holder, and there's nothing they can do.
Wow.
And then later on, I find out that not only is my channel closed and my account banned, but I can't. My IP seems to be banned as well. Like, this is like permanent ban
Wow.
until my IP changes.
Racism. Clearly. Racism.
Very.
So I mean, look. What any decent company out there?
Oh, we're
would
getting
do-
banned, by the way. There's no. Well, this show's off the air. After.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's fine.
They would. I understand they're trying to cover their ass.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what they're doing.
Sure.
Right? They don't want to get in some copyright infringement law with some mega corporation that has 1,000 lawyers just, doing the pepper mill in the corner waiting to do something. All right? It would be fair if they would be like, so-and-so, as in this specific company, asked you to remove the content. As of right now, they just said the content holder. That's it. No other details. Not when, not where, not how, not who. Why can't you even do that, Twitch? If you're going to shit on people that have promoted your service, who've used your service, who hasn't done anything illegal, because obviously I'm watching other streams with people showing gameplay, why did you pick on Hitman?
Poor
What's
Hit.
going on?
It's because he's Canadian. It's the only legitimate reason. And this is the thing, we
In
talked
Canada.
about it earlier. And I was not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this should be the whole show. Just kidding. But the problem is, me and LB dealt with this when we started doing our show early on. Activision sent us their content to put up to promote their game. What was this? Black Ops, right? Wasn't that Black Ops? It was a while ago.
It was the world premiere trailer
Right.
from Black Ops
Right.
that we were authorized to show.
Right. So in that situation, we were authorized to show it. We showed it on our channel. We promoted it. We thought it looked good, right? We were actually saying good things about it, which is crazy. 2 weeks later, I get a DMC notice. They shut down the YouTube channel. My entire YouTube channel. They took all our shit off. They said, your YouTube channel is suspended. You have a warning. If you do it again, we're going to delete all the content. You're out of here. But, and here's the big but, the difference between Twitch and YouTube. YouTube sent me in the notice saying that Activision, the company, was filing a DMC against this specific piece of content. They showed me the video, and they even said, here in the video is where you're fucking up. And they said, do you wish to fight this? They even said, do you wish to say that this is fair use and they have no reason to take it down? If you click yes, now you're basically you're saying that everything you're saying is truthful and that you're producing this in the correct, rules of the law and whatever. Do you want to move forward? And of course we said yes, and we got that through and eventually started showing the video. Difference with what's happening here is an unknown company the man can't face his accuser, right? He doesn't know who the company is. He doesn't know when it happened. All he knows is that a company said jump and Twitch said how high. That's a little embarrassing. I don't know. What do you think, LB?
Well, Digital Ciphers, he's got a decent question. He's like, did they say if it was gameplay, could it be music, or a font type? Well, Digital, they didn't. They didn't say if it was music. They didn't say it was gameplay. They didn't say it was font. They didn't say whatever. They just said it was a DMCA violation. That's it. All the detail, nothing beyond that. We can't tell you anything else. And that's crap.
I agree.
And that's truly crap.
And Hit, you were emotionally affected by this, correct?
Yeah, it bummed me out. Just like that, oh man, it's so frustrating. Followers, I gained so many followers in that time.
Right.
I have videos on my channel that I didn't have backups for because they were from 2 years ago when I was first starting out. It's just a bunch of videos on there that I didn't get to save, but just all that work gone.
So are you gonna continue on, or are you done now?
Well, I was gonna start up a new account, but I'm IP banned, so until that changes, I don't know what I can do.
Now, will you at least try to get more information? You can email them back again. You've gone back and forth 3 or 4 times. Is it
the
over?
last email they sent was pretty final.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't see anything going back.
LB, are we moving to owned? What's happening? Are we starting?
I say you quote the fair use play provisions that you have. If you have to send them a link and go, look, I wasn't monetizing any of this. I wasn't making any money off of this. If anybody was making money off of it, it was Twitch. Because of your goddamn advertisement now,
we're banned
plays every time somebody logs in.
We're done.
So at the very minimum, you owe me an explanation of when, where, how, and who.
I think it's fair to say. I don't even think we're asking very much here. We just want to know what the deal is. I think that's fair as a company. No. I don't know. Does anyone in chat feel like we're asking for too much? I feel like the normal.
I can't even believe we got to this point.
I can't either. I'm frankly.
And there wasn't even a warning.
I'm frankly surprised.
Not even a warning.
No warning.
Hey,
now
you're screwing up.
Wait,
we might have to go DMCA.
Can we wait? Can we at least divulge one thing, Hit? Did you have a warning in the past from Twitch?
Oh.
Yeah, I've gotten a warning in the past.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is hurtful. This might hurt your case.
I was ready to champion
Hold on.
LB, that's why.
Champion.
LB, that's why I did this for you, because I don't want you to go too far. Explain yourself.
They gave me a warning, and I've never done it ever since. Because whatever, I didn't know. It was the first time.
Well, wait a minute. What was the warning? What was the warning? What did it say?
What was the infraction? Or
no. Well, what did they said? Hitman, if you do this, we will suspend your account. So what was going on, Hitman?
It wasn't a copyright infringement thing, and it was basically turn this off, or we'll turn off we'll close your channel. Right. I turned it off immediately. I was like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
And they're like, you can't do this. And then I said, okay. And they're like, you get 2 strikes. This is 1. Just don't do it again. I'm like, all right, I won't do it again. So that was it.
Okay.
I haven't done that since, so that's why this is called confusing. It could be, it could be anything. It could be a logo, a song, a game. I don't know, something. It could be anything.
Now, do you still?
I'll never know.
Now, do you still want to champion him now that you know this? That he's a repeat offender? Stuff for you.
I think it's only fair that they at least tell you what it was, not just a DMCA infraction.
Yeah. If it was 2 DMC infractions in a row, I would understand, but It wasn't. And
How long ago was the original warning?
in March.
See, that's a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. If they said they're going to give you 2 strikes and not on the second strike, they're going to boot you. Come on.
I'm with you,
Listen, corporate America,
Here we go.
give us a break, man. I'm not asking you to like put your lawyers to work on this. At least give the guy a heads up. You said there's going to be 2 strikes, and we'll let you know about it. Well, you know, the second strike of instant you're out without an explanation? Come on. Whatever.
Bubba says this is a bit of a stretch that we're comparing Twitch TV and stormtroopers jackbooting down the doors. But I say, let me say this right now. It starts with Twitch. All right. This is where it starts. Right. We got to fight the man whenever we can. By the way, after the show, we will in fact be banned from this Twitch TV. So.
Yeah. And Bubba, what's up next is when you do your tailgating at Giant Stadium and you take a family video on your phone. Oh, hey, check this out, having a good time. I'm going to post it on YouTube. Well, then you get your DMCA booted of you having a good time eating your filet mignon and bacon, and then you're gone.
Wow.
Next step.
It's true. The first step, Twitch. Next step, they're coming to your house to take your kids away.
Yes.
That's the next logical move here. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And this is why we shouldn't drink while doing the show at the same time. It's not healthy at all for anybody. It's not good. No, but I mean, seriously, I think every man has the right to face his accuser. It's a basic human thing that we've all kind of agreed upon. Like, at least let me know the guy fucking me. I don't want to, come on. Right?
Yeah.
Christ almighty. But in any case.
I don't understand why YouTube does it and Twitch doesn't.
Well, you know why?
Or YouTube does and Twitch doesn't.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this too. Twitch is a very young company, right? Who bought Twitch out? Wasn't it somebody big, right? Who was it that
What's
bought
it? Ustream?
No, Justin TV. But who bought out Justin TV? Anyone in chat know? The big company? Was it GameSpot? Or Games? Yeah, GameSpot, right? Bought out Twitch? Yeah,
IGN?
GameSpot. So, they're young. They've got everything to prove. We're going to be banned from it, so we'll be a part of that history as well in some way. But even still, I think maybe they don't have the balls to take on these people yet. I think maybe that's it. Maybe they don't have the balls to support their users because they're too afraid. They've got a good thing going with streaming this content. And at any point in time, these companies could start really throwing DMCA, which kills their entire business model, right? There's no original content except for what we do on Twitch, and we're rare. Most of it's just streaming actually video games. But what we do is really rare on Twitch. This is more of a YouTube thing is what we're doing. We just do it because I like Twitch. I really do. So,
Light.
Whoa.
And here's the other thing. Somebody else might be thinking, and this was kind of brought up in site chat earlier today because we kind of were talking about it then too. Fire kind of brought up the aspect. Well, Microsoft changed their what do you call it? Their copyright or whatever it is, saying using their stuff. But here's the key with them, and it was even in the Twitch stream when it was a big blow up, like, oh, Microsoft hates people. It was basically they said, look, if you're going to use our content to profit off of something we make, then yes, we are going to seek means to have that either taken down or removed. But if they're like, look, if you're just streaming your gameplay and you're making some money to pay for your bandwidth or something like that, or to pay for your something minor, it's not that big of a deal. But if all of a sudden you're rolling around in a new car, you've got 14 sets of gunners on, you've got 9 30-inch monitors in the background because of this, then it's a whole different story. So that's not it.
It's interesting. I'm glad that we were going to do this topic about Halo 4 maps. Maybe we'll get to that. I don't know. But this brings up the whole topic, I think, that sets a tone for the night, which is really just the DMCA in general. And, does it hurt or harm a company? Does it hurt or help a company to let these people do what they want to do with this content? To me, if I'm out there busting my ass, and even if I'm making a profit, even if my goal is to make money doing what I'm doing right now, Obviously, I'm 32 years old and I don't see that as being my future. But if I was a young lad and I thought maybe I could make money doing this, why does that hurt a company like Microsoft or whoever this fucking piece of shit company that got hit banned? Why does that hurt them? Aren't we constantly promoting their content just by talking about it? No press is bad press, right? So what's the big fucking deal? Does anyone know? LB, I mean, do you have any idea, LB, why a company would sort of go down the throat of their own, the people that buy their shit? What's the reason?
Well, okay, I can see them wanting to protect their intellectual property, their IP stuff, right? I get that. But it's, it's not like we're going friggin' the airwaves, showing a movie. It's not like we snuck into a movie and recorded it and putting it up and then, now we're only going to charge people $4 to come watch this movie on the internet. It's not even there. A line needs to be drawn when it's obvious someone is just showing their gameplay.
Right.
And they're not selling tickets to come watch my channel. You have to pay a monthly subscription to watch my channel and watch me play. He's not doing it. I don't know anyone who's doing it. There may be someone doing it, but it's not us and it's not Hit. So I don't understand why you have to come down on us if we're going to, if we want to show your Activision friggin' Black Ops 2 nationally released friggin' video, and then you get a hissy fit and come and ban us, just a blind ban. And on that note, the One of Swords guy, if you go to Twitter, One of Swords, the Activision, one of the community managers, his own channel got banned at one time for DCMA. The guy who works for Activision, his job is to show the videos. Banned.
Wow.
Of course, he got it unbanned. But I mean, really? Are you so blind to the fact that, hey, these guys aren't stealing, that you can't just send out your little robots to send out your cease and desist?
Well, that's what I was going to say, right? Because it comes down to, like, the problem is the easiest way for them to deal with this type of shit is just to do the blanket sort of like just hit everything and see where it lands. We'll deal with the people that actually get fucked with on a case-by-case basis. It's a lot easier to go out there and say fuck everybody than it is to have to hire people to actually do due diligence and look to see if this is actually occurring. What concerns me about what happened with Hit is that there's no way to know. I mean, we just, at least with YouTube, they let you know, they say you fucked up, you did this, you did that. That's fine. But with what happened with Hit, there's no way for him to ever, if he does get unbanned or wants to make a new account, he's fucked. He'll never know what it did.
I'll never know what I did.
I mean, we'll
redo it.
You'll have to start over.
Yeah, starting over, from scratch.
And you're not going to start over, is what you're saying, right?
Oh, I might, but until I can get around this IP ban, seems so like too much. No, is this IP banned?
You know, do you know what it is, bro? I'll tell you what it is right now. It's because I called you a terrorist. Yeah, that's what this is. This is some next level shit that's happening, bro.
Well, I mean, they're acting like he broke into like he broke into like Bungie's corporate offices, right? And downloaded gameplay of their next game, and then threw it up on Twitch before it's even like, all right, then I could maybe see them having a case. Be like, okay, look, you've gone too far.
You might have overstepped some boundaries.
But he hasn't done that. It's everything that's out there. It's released.
Homeland Security ban. That's what Bubba's saying.
Stuff.
It's a Homeland Security ban. I'm telling you, bro. It's crazy, and it sucks. It sucks too because like I said, I like Twitch as a company. When we first started in the show, we were attracted so much to Twitch because we felt like, oh, this is great. We can get all of our friends into one channel. We can drink beers. We can have fun. It'll be a fun thing. We'll do it like 4 people will show up, and that's relatively accurate. And we'll do the show, and it's a great way to get out there and talk about video games. When something like this happens to a company, it's really hard to get behind them and want to stick with this channel and like move things forward when you feel like, what if I put up a video? What if I do something in the next 20 minutes where I'm going to be banned? I don't know if it's even worth putting the content out there anymore.
Yeah, you don't know. That's a whole other thing. Now, like, what are our guidelines supposed to be? We would have done all the same stuff Hitman's done? Because we don't know. I mean, okay, I'm going to bring up their TOS. Where there's their goddamn TOS.
Well, and I'll ask you this too, Hit. Did you look at the TOS after you did your, like, after everything went down, did you look to see if there's anything in there that might have gotten you tagged? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, but like the list is so
vague.
It lists everything, like, but no specific one. Like, it just lists every possible thing I could have done wrong, and there was like 15 of them, and I'm like, maybe I did, maybe I don't know. I have no idea.
Like, you literally out of that list, you don't see anything that could have been something that you might have done.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but
like,
I don't know if if any of those ones were the ones that actually got me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know.
Wow. Well,
like,
I don't know.
It could have been a song. It could have been a logo. It could have been a this or a that, and everything was on that list. So I'm like, well, which one is it?
Is there LB? Is there anything in there that specifically says anything that you can see or no?
Say that one more time.
Is there anything in there that you can see just looking at it right, like off the top of your head? Is there anything in there that you see that, like, you know, kind of points out why?
They keep it pretty broad. I mean, even the first
really
thing,
broad.
the thing was, welcome to the game video management and streaming platform operated by Justin TV Inc., DBA Twitch, blah, 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 blah. And they go on to say that as long as you're streaming authorized content, everything will be cool. And then they go on some other stuff. They list the DMCA. But, you know, even still, if somebody wanted to be as anal, like, they don't have, like, a table or somewhere where you can go and be like, oh, I want to play this game. Let me go to the you can't stream from here area and show me a list of different companies or games I can't stream, or music, or whatever it may be. Show me something that I can't show out there. How am I supposed to educate myself?
Right.
So if I go on the internet and go, can I stream Halo 4? And then 47,000 hits comes back. Am I supposed to read all those and try to figure it out? No.
Right.
Give me some tools. Maybe show something on your freaking site saying you can't show this.
And really, and it's like you have to learn by being banned, right? Like, that's the way you learn is you get banned because there's no way to know.
There's no learning. If they go straight to the IP ban, there's no learning. Yes, he did get whatever it was back in March, but even then still, okay, I'm not going to do this because I got this. He hasn't done that. So what else is there? There's got to be something for us, a tool to use to find out what is okay and what is not on your stupid friggin' service.
Well, and I agree with Styles. Styles is saying he's not learning if they don't tell you, but they're not telling him either. I mean, that would be fine if they told him. The problem is that the telling is you're banned, and that doesn't really make anyone know. You know, if it's not from streaming games, or if it's from screwing around, if it's from whatever. All of those things are fine, and I'm not saying that they didn't do the right thing. I think if they have a reason to ban him and then they ban him, I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine. If there's something in the TOS that he that he went against, that's fine. That's in their right to do. But they should tell him what it is.
They consider it under that DMCA. They say, please note that Twitch will promptly terminate without notice any user's account to the Twitch service if that user is determined by Twitch to be a repeat infringer.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go, bro.
Whatever they banned you for, they consider it a repeat offense.
Right. Bubba says don't do anything bannable and you won't get banned.
Yeah, but like
that's what he's saying to you, bro. You just got total lesson.
Looking at a couple of the things that they say I could have done, like one's impersonation. You may not impersonate others through the service in a manner that does not intend or mislead, confuse, or deceive others. That could be anything, like me using my MLG type name tags on my stream.
Well, see, they
I don't know, maybe I'm impersonating MLG in some sense.
No, that's not it, because they did cite the DMCA.
Yeah,
so it's number 6 on there. It's specifically that they did even though it's the very bare minimum of what they cited. That's what they cited, and they say it's because it's a repeat offender.
Right. So you know what it is. Well, you know why, I suppose, but you just don't know why.
Why or what?
You know the base reason of why you're banned. And it's a shame. I mean, you know, it sucks because, like I said, I don't think you've ever done anything that I would consider bannable. But again, it's not my company, and we'll probably be banned from it as well because we're talking ill of Twitch, unfortunately, but for what I think is a good reason. And if anyone out there in the Twitch community, you know, sees this for the next 2 days that it's up or whatever before they remove it, at least more people get educated about it. I think it's fair to say that Twitch should educate the viewer and the actual guy putting up the content so that they know what is good and what's bad. I know that they have their terms of service, but clearly it's not laid out in a way that's good for everybody. Not everyone understands it, nor is it detailed enough to let you know when you fuck up. And if you do fuck up, I see nothing wrong with giving you a detailed reason or at least the name of the person that is telling you that you fucked up. I think it's really weird that a company could just say, hey, delete this guy's account. And they're not a part of Twitch. An outside third-party company could come in and tell you to delete another person's account, and that person's account cannot even be, you know, you can't even face the person that's accusing you. I think that's a little wrong. I just think it's a little wrong.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I feel bad for you, Hit. I really do. LB's fired up. He might, I don't know, he might just quit everything. Quit gaming and everything.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Anyway, well, moving on. I don't even know how we are. The rest of this whole show is going to suck. Because we're all very somber now. That Hit's whole
Halo
life.
maps.
Halo maps. That's all we can do. At least we can talk about how much these Halo maps suck, right? At least we've got that.
Did you even buy them?
No, I don't buy that shit. Fuck that game. I don't even play video games anymore, right, LB?
LB, do you get the maps?
I got the maps. Well, I got the LE, so I got the maps.
All right.
Oh,
so
okay.
anyway, 343 released their new map pack for Halo 4, the game that changed the world for never. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because there's a lot of hoopla going on with these maps, basically stating, and again, I have not played them, so my opinion means dick all. That's fine. You can shove it under the rug, but these guys have. But a lot of people are saying that these maps are really the anti-competitive, the anti-Halo. Most of them are big team-esque or bigger maps, and a lot of them don't flow well in a sort of symmetrical way. A lot of them are asymmetrical. LB, what do you think so far? A lot of the community is really against what 343 is doing here and the direction they're taking with their game now that things have sort of been out in the open. So how do you feel so far about the games?
Well, about the game?
Well, just in general, like before we get into the maps themselves, the way the game is now that it's a month out or so, how do you feel like it's going for 343 within the community as a whole? I see a lot of shit on Twitter. I see a lot of people bitching. Where do you see them so far, minus these maps, if you can?
I see them having a difficult time because, one, they're kind of upset. They've upset people on multiple fronts. They've upset a lot of the competitive community.
Right.
You know, I understand they're the minority or whatnot, but you've pretty much upset them because...
The vocal minority.
The vocal minority is... It's not really designed for a true... competitive play style.
Right.
It's definitely more, I won't necessarily say casual, but it is dumbed down a little bit, you know.
Right.
Things are a little bit easier, you know, they make it less skill based and that kind of thing.
Right.
So
do you think that's directly related to like the ordnance drops and things like that? A lot of people think, you know, because they're kind of given hand-me-down power weapons and stuff like that, that breaks up the flow of the map. Is it become the sort of I hate saying Call of Duty because I feel like it's a diss, but it's still accurate. I mean, has it become the run and gun sort of everyone gets a power weapon at some point, everyone gets a pat on the back? Is that why people feel this way?
I mean, that's why a lot of people may say that. Personally, I don't think it's that specifically because even like your loadouts, they do give you a slight advantage. There are a couple of loadout makeups that actually make it a little bit overpowered, and specifically what I'm addressing is the combination of camo and bolt shot. Because now this is what you get these guys doing. They sit in a corner with camo, with a bolt shot, behind a crate, and wait for somebody to run by.
It's kind of
what kind of fun is that?
It's chicken play.
Really? You want to sit there?
That's the Call of Duty, I think, mentality. A lot of that shit, you know, like waiting in a corner, sort of that campy feeling that Call of Duty has. I mean, there's a little bit of running gun in Call of Duty as well, but I mean, like, if you can't get that setup play, and Styles actually just mentioned it in chat as well, if you can't get that setup that you used to be able to get, where everyone was sort of on a pretty balanced play field, and the battle moved according to power weapons, shifted to where power weapons were going to be at certain times, and that battle sort of forced people out of their corners. When you have ordinances and the ordinances are given to you, I think it kind of makes that a stalemate a little bit. I mean, like, what do you think, Hit? Do you think they're doing a good job so far now that we're a couple months out, or like, what do you think?
I think it's still too early.
Really? Even a month out, you think it's still too early now?
Like, yeah, they're doing a good job so far, but I don't know. I want to see another map pack. After that next map pack, then I'll make a decision.
Well, that's the thing here. So, I mean, LB, you got the map pack because you were part of like the whole deal. Do you think this is sort of just a map pack for the casuals, the first sort of load that they bust, and then maybe we'll get some competitive stuff? The big thing is I think a lot of people feel like there is no competitive left in Halo. So, I mean, like, are we just waiting for it, or like what?
I think we're still waiting for it because this current map pack is not a competitive map pack.
No.
And I'm not like the champion of the competitive set. I like big team battle, but I also like competitive. And, you know, I've played these maps like last night and today and a little bit this evening. And even Harvest, which I would say plays the best as far as the flow and capture the flag and everything like that. Honestly, even 6v6 on that, the map is still too big. Now, on the other two maps, it's just too scattered. It's too... the spawns are okay, but it's like, you know, you may have some fighting over here, may have some fighting over here, but it's not set for a intense close battle by any means. It's really spread out.
And so what was the one you were talking about earlier that's the CTF map, where if you do play CTF on it, you're essentially fucked, and someone has a greater advantage going in? What map is that?
That would be Wreckage, because on one side, and that's actually what they call their small to medium-sized map.
Right.
The sizing of it is, I could say, maybe classified as that, but I think it's Red Team, and when they spawn some down below, but then there's also this ridge area. And the flag spawn is down here. So guess what happens when you get 3 guys up here,
Yeah.
and anyone trying to get that flag?
Yeah.
They're just going to rain death upon them. And if you get that spawn that side, then you've got, I'd say, at least an 80% chance of winning, unless you're with
Complete
total inept people just spinning around in a circle.
like your team at the LAN, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, I thought I'd bring that up for you. I apologize. I hurt feelings. I don't mean to step on any toes. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is, and the counter to this argument of them really not like, you know, catering to the competitive team is that now, because of Sprint and the way all these things are going, that these small maps like Midship, which who hated Midship? I love Midship. Very competitive map, really forced team shooting, and really great setups in terms of, you know, like Pink 1, Pink 2, and having those different levels. Is that no longer an ability to build a map like that in Halo 4 because of all the way that these armor abilities have kind of come into play? Like, what do you think about that, Hit? Like, can we see a competitive Midship ever again? Or do they have to be medium-sized maps from this point forward?
Not in Halo 4.
Really?
Mainly because Sprint has really changed. Because it's default, it's really changed the way Halo plays. The maps have to be bigger to compensate for the ability to sprint everywhere.
Well, does that then mean? I mean, is that a bad thing? Does that make a map less competitive?
It's a bad thing when it comes to small size maps. You'll never see Battle Creek or Midship. They're too small for sprint, and all the other armor abilities.
Yeah. I mean, so do you think that's like? What do you think, LB? I mean, you think Because that's the thing is the argument seems to be like, why is 343 no longer making mid-sized to small-sized maps for competitive gameplay? But is the reality that the game will no longer support a map of that type? Is that the reality that we've kind of have to be faced with?
I'm gonna say if that's what they believe, or part of their reasoning, I think that's actually crap, because there are some community maps out there that are definitely medium, even maybe medium to small sized, with sprint still there, that play competitively and flow very well. Now, could you have a perfect remake of Midship? I don't think so. Sprint would definitely, specifically with Midship, would ruin that map.
Right, especially with the jumps, right? I mean, like, a lot of Midship was the finesse of getting from one place to another, throwing, everyone knows this. When you'd get the map and you'd throw it from one base up to the guy on the overlanding to grab it to then throw it back down. That when things like that occurred in Halo, that was really the spark of Halo, the things that made Halo as great as it was, when you had the technical skill to execute things as a team, that it seems like has been taken away from the game. I mean, and I hate to say that. I don't know if that's totally true, and I don't want to just throw 343 under the bus, but is that a part of it, that those really cool jumps and that sort of team play with tossing flag to another guy who grabs the flag? And a lot of people say this too. The auto grab of flag has ruined flag. Because a lot of the finesse was like holding that button, grabbing it, tossing it. You can no longer do that anymore with flag. Has that sort of screwed competitive Halo as well?
I'm going to have to say no. Specifically for the flag whole deal, I think that's a weak argument, because you know what? Now you add an extra element of, well, you've got the guy that can actually defend himself at a medium range. And he's not just a vulnerable dude. Yeah, you're doing the flag toss, or you can toss to the guy up top. Whatever. The play style does change. I think more of the issue is, I don't know if 343 wants to do the time or invest the time to figure it out. I think it's easy for them to make a big team map with all these grand levels,
right? Bells and whistles,
and everything else. They're like, well, this is what we want to do, and that's fine. I'm not hating on the people that want that, but the ability is there to make it competitive. Even with not stripping out a bunch of the stuff, just stripping out some of it, or like a few things, it can be very competitive. And it's just that the stuff they keep throwing out, it's not there. It's left up. It's almost like they're like, well, we'll just let the competitive community figure it out for themselves, and then they can play customs all the time. Well, no. I bought your game because you're supposed to know what you're doing. You're supposed to have those skills to kind of figure it out for us. And you know what we want. Right. You said it's going to happen in the second map pack, but what have you left me to believe that that's actually going to be there?
I think that's what a lot of it is. A lot of people are afraid that they've seen what they've seen, and now they feel like, okay, we know what we're getting at, which is ironic, because I think a lot of people before Halo 4 came out thought of 343 as really a pretty good map company, right? Like, for a while, that's what they did. They built maps for Halo. That's what Microsoft had them doing before Bungie sort of left the picture. And a lot of people like 343's maps. A lot of people actually thought they were really quality maps, and now we're kind of seeing this, and it's this sort of fight against their own gameplay as to how these maps turn out. I mean, so for you, as a guy who's been playing Halo for forever as well, I don't want to say do you prefer these maps as they are now, but I mean, do you see a way? I know you said that Sprint will never make that happen. LB's now saying that even in these sort of self-created custom maps, we've seen small maps work. Do you want to see these maps sort of make a comeback? Do you want to see these midship maps? Or do you feel like the game just can't support it and it's just kind of a done deal? I mean, because obviously LB's seen them and people have used them. So, I mean, do you think it's possible? You're muted, by the way. But it's okay, because I like it when you mute yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's possible. And I do want to see smaller maps and stuff. I just baffle as to why they're not making these maps. And what baffles me even more is that they have the default Forge maps. It's just sitting there, and
Yeah.
they're not in matchmaking at all. I don't understand why they're not matchmaking. Maybe they really do hate small maps. I don't know, but at least let us play those maps and let us decide whether or not small maps work. And then if those maps are successful, then why don't you make us DLC small maps? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, and that seems to be like the big thing I saw on Twitter. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been kind of paying attention to the Twitter sphere, but a lot of I can't remember the guy's name who was on Reddit who basically, ripped them a new asshole in terms of competitiveness versus casuals. But a lot of what he said was like, you seem to give us maps. The community saying we want these maps. We like you said, the Forge maps. Why aren't they in matchmaking? A lot of people like those maps. They don't mind playing them. And it's almost like you're asking us what we want. We're telling you what we want. And then you're saying, oh, okay, we're just going to do something else. And the fact that they don't seem to be listening. A lot of what people loved about Bungie was, and again, Bungie did not always agree with their community. I will give them that. A lot of the stuff with the bullet spread and all that stuff was, obviously a big deal, but they talked about it. So a lot of what people are saying now is that 343 has just sort of fallen off the radar. The game has come out, they've made the money, and there's very little back and forth between the Halo community, unlike Bungie, who seem to be there at least to tell you to go fuck yourself, right? Like, at least Bungie would sit down and say, I know better than you, I know what you want, but you're wrong, this will ruin our game, so fuck you. But instead, we're getting nothing out of 343, and a lot of people feel like that's not nearly as good as you just telling me no. So, I mean, I guess LB, if they're coming, you think if they came to you and said, we understand you want small maps. We tried to build them. Sprint doesn't make it work. It's not happening. Let us try this. I promise you after a certain amount of time, you'll love it. Is that okay with you? I mean, to sort of give them the benefit of the doubt, let them see how this plays out and move forward. Hit seems to think like it's too early, which I can totally see his point. It's a very early game in terms of a franchise.
Like the launch was pretty good, and all the Spartan Up stuff is pretty good. It's just this DLC map is the first one. I want to see a second one and then decide. But
well, the whole thing is, and you hit on it, is that I'd say they have two maps that are on the disc that came with the game that could be in gameplay right now. And they're not necessarily small. Like I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the outer space map, the white one that's a big circle one,
Warlocky almost.
It's Warlock. Yeah, it's basically Warlock. I forget the name
that
of
was.
it. Yeah,
Impact.
Impact.
That is not a small map.
No,
it's not.
It's really not.
It takes you a while if you have to run around or go across. It's not like a quick 3 or 4 second thing. That would be a great map, and I don't understand why they're not putting it in. Yeah. And also Ravine. That would be a great 6v6 CTF map.
Yeah.
Why is that not out there? What are you people doing? I don't understand. And it's freaking out a lot of people. It's freaking out a lot of, the competitive set. Yeah. But honestly, how am I supposed to be like, all right, I see this new map pack that came out. How am I supposed to be like, all right, the next map pack, they've told me it's going to be smaller maps. Not necessarily small maps, but smaller. Right. How am I supposed to have faith in you not to give me pretty much the same thing you just spewed out of your pie hole?
Right.
And where is that?
Where is that? Right. And like, it's like what J-Dub is saying in chat too. There's a reason that people play Haven over and over again. There's a reason that a lot of those small-ish, again, they're not tiny maps, but like those smaller ones, the ones that force competitive gameplay, there's a reason that people play those over and over again. I mean, they want to see it. They want to like get into the nooks and crannies of it. And the big team battle maps just don't lend themselves very well to sort of tearing them down to the last, pixel of where they are and where you need to be in location-wise. It's not a fault, of 343 to want to build big team battle maps, but it is a fault, I think, of them to sort of let a deaf ear fall on the maps that really made Halo famous. The big thing about me with Halo is the maps that people seem to remember. Maybe it's just me because I tried to play it at more of a competitive type of level, but those maps are always the smaller ones. I mean, Blood Gulch. People remember some great times on Blood Gulch. I'm not saying they don't. But, you know, again, Warlock, Lockout, which again is Lockout was almost a bigger map back then. But those maps are the ones that really ring true with people, more so than the bigger ones, because the smaller ones are more intimate. They create really great environments in a 4v4 situation, and more people seem to play 4v4 than any other format. So I don't know. Again, is it that? And I'll ask both of you this, but is it maybe that 343 is sort of, now that the game is out, kind of not backtracking, but they're a little, the community is sort of kind of, you know, puff their chest or whatever, however you want to say it, and said, you know, maybe you're not doing a good job. Do you think they're freezing up? Do you think that they're really not talking enough with the community? Do you think it's sort of like everything's falling on deaf ears? Or do you think they're just sort of, maybe like Hit said, waiting and just seeing how things pan out? I mean, that seems to be the argument, is that they're not listening anymore. Do you think they are or no?
Honestly, I really don't know.
Right.
I wish I could get a gauge on their feelings and everything, and where they're coming from. I just, you know, even it's not just necessarily maps. There were other issues that still go on. Hell, I went almost 4 days without being able to play with my friends on my main tag. And it had nothing to do with anything on my side. 4 days. You know, people are like, oh my God, it's 4 days, move on. But still, you know, you buy a game and you want to be able to play it. And I don't know. I was hoping for a lot from them. I was a little bit, you know, concerned. It was, you know, did they know what they're doing? It seemed to know what they're doing, because they brought in MLG people, and they were playing with it, and they were saying it's having a great time with it, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe they are going to listen. And I haven't seen that so far. You know, yes, it's still early. We're only a month and a week after launch, if that. But I'll give you to that second map pack, and honestly, I think you've already maybe lost a good 40 to maybe 60%.
A lot of people have been pretty pissed,
Yeah, of your community.
Yeah.
But you now have, what, the next one's supposed to come out in February.
Right.
I believe.
Yeah.
Those maps better be spectacular. And they better be what people are screaming for. You now have everything else that is supposed to be for everybody else. You need to cater to the people screaming the
hardcore's
most.
gotta get their day too. There's no reason. I mean, and Bubba, both Bubba and Jada brought up a good point. Well, I mean, first, Bubba, the big question is whether you trust 343. And I think that's a fair point to say. I mean, they have taken a strange stance where they've sort of become silent, and they've let, you know, everybody sort of have to fend for themselves and what they feel about the game. But the question remains, like, do you trust them as a company? At the end of the day, when Halo 4 released and Halo came out and people got their chance to play it, I think all three of us can agree, we thought it was one of the better Halos so far. I mean, can we all three agree that at the end of the day, we loved Halo 4 the day it came out, right? I mean, that's...
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, I don't hate the game. The basis of a great game is there.
It's there,
It is there in the game. You've got it. It's there.
Right. But you just haven't executed or haven't...
No, exactly.
Right. And I think that's why I think people are so frustrated. I think for me, at least, I didn't like Reach, and everyone knows that. I wasn't really a fan of the Bloom. I wasn't a fan of any of that stuff. I'm one of those people that's what made me quit playing Halo in the first place. And so I felt like there's no reason having this discussion with Bungie, and I just don't care anymore. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm done with the series. When Halo 4 came out, well, you guys saw me at the LAN. I played it like I was a 15-year-old kid again, yelling and screaming, calling everyone fucking cunts and shit. You know, that's when I can call somebody a cunt, that means you've made a great game. That I'm so upset with you that I'm calling you a cunt. That's a fantastic game, right? And so I think the gameplay's there, like LB said. I think it's a good game, but I think maybe, again, a lot of the silence and a lot of the like ambiguity, we don't know what's going on. You know, like LB said, there's supposedly this new map pack that's, you know, coming out in February that may do this and may do that. We just need to know. I feel like we need the communication. I don't know.
Yeah.
And what Jada was saying, that Bravo is working with 343 on the second map pack. Well, we don't really know, but I mean, I don't think having any of these people, this is one thing I've learned, having like a certain person from a community that you respect work on a title or work on a map pack and have their input. I don't know that that necessarily makes a good game. I don't think it matters when, like, a lot of times, a lot of these companies will bring in professional gamers to like help build their game after the game has become successful. And my big thing with this type of thing is good game players don't make great designers, and nor do I think they should. A lot of the time when I see like a game like Halo, I want to keep a lot of that competitive shit out of that side of things because I think it muddies up what made the game special in the first place. What do you guys think about that when they bring in, like, hey, we got this guy that's super pro gamer, he's going to help develop these maps. I understand that they feel like they know what a good map is, but at the end of the day, when the game was first made, the guys who weren't pros were making it, and they made it popular. So, I mean, what do you think? Hit, what do you think about that? Bringing in the pros.
Bravo working for 343, I think, is awesome.
So you do. I mean, like, you think that's a good thing.
I would rather him be there than not be there. Like,
right.
I would rather his influence, whether it be like one tweak, better than no tweaks, right? Like, Bravo was a player, then a coach.
Yeah, he ran the gamut.
His own thing, and like he takes pretty good perspective going in. So,
what do you think of
that one? I like when they hire stuff like people like that. Yeah.
Well, I would say it's a good move if they use him in the right capacity.
Right.
I've seen him tweet, and this was like a day or two after he got hired. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he says, "Well, I'm working in communications."
Right. Right. Can mean anything.
Okay, so great. You just hired some dude to do your social media competitive side.
Right.
You're like, oh, that's going to be a great game. Listen, the guy has been around the circuit. He's got friends in the circuit. He may have a pulse on what that huge vocal set wants.
Right.
And you need to be able to tap into that and use that. Yes, I totally agree with Duty, too, that just because you play competitive doesn't mean you know how to design a map. It's the same thing, in anything in life. Just because you're, a graphic designer or graphic artist doesn't mean you can make the perfect airplane.
Right.
Shit would probably fly and explode in the air.
Yeah, it'll look cool on paper, right?
Yeah, oh, it looks sweet, just do this. And then you find out real physics that the wing will fly off.
Exactly.
You're right.
That's my, yeah, I agree with you there, 100%.
Yeah, you've got the guy, pick his brain, tweak what you need to tweak, and then, say, hey, we use with some ideas from Bravo and the community. This is what you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I love Bravo. Don't get me wrong. And that's the thing is, I'm not trying to like say he sucks or whatever.
Right.
But the thing is, Bravo didn't create Halo, right? Bravo didn't create Halo 2. Bravo didn't make one of the best competitive FPSs ever to come out. And so I'm not saying don't rely on him in some ways, but I don't believe in this second coming of Jesus bullshit when they get a professional gamer to come in to try to fix Halo. You didn't make Halo. You're a fucking gamer. You don't design video games, and there's
but
a
he's
vast
a gamer
difference.
that we can relate with, guys.
Sure.
That we think we're
we
similar.
can relate him, but is he? How good of a forger is he?
Right. What maps has he built?
Does he have like 30 Bravo maps that have just been like amazing? I mean, you can't just count on it because they hired Bravo to, like Duty said, the second coming of Jesus is going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what capacity.
Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah, what's the like? Does he sit in a corner while a designer makes a map and he nods his head when he sees something he likes, or is he there actually creating the map? I mean, and it's. I don't want to get on his ass or anything, but I mean, like, if his title is there, and Styles is saying this right there, if his title is there to keep up with the community and communications, well, then having him there means nothing in terms of the maps that are created. So who gives a shit if Bravo's there? It doesn't mean anything for the way that you're going to play Halo, right? If you tell me that, they're bringing in Walshy and Walshy's hired by Bungie, and again, I have more respect for Walshy than pretty much any other Halo player in the world. If he's coming in and you're telling me that his role is to talk to me on Twitter, well, how the fuck does that relate to how I'm going to be playing the game? It doesn't. It means nothing. He's not there telling me what map is going to be good or actually giving input into the game's design. He's just there to tell me, hey, Duty, everything's going to be okay. That's his role. His role is to say, Duty, everything is going to be okay. We're going to make a great video game. But that doesn't mean he's actually going to make a great video game. And I think that's my problem with that sort of mentality of a company. You know, people get really psyched when they see like, oh, Bravo's coming or this guy's coming. Well, if he's going to be on a Twitter account 24 hours a day, then you tell me what he's going to do for Halo 4, right? And what do you, again, hit. Now that I've kind of shit all over your parade, like I love to do. I mean, do you really think he's going to have a positive influence on the way Halo is played from this point on, or no?
If they utilize him, I think it'd be good.
Right.
If they utilize him in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It can only be good. Only because the Halo that Bravo plays and likes and knows is the Halo that I know and like and play. So I can understand why like a non-competitive person wouldn't care, but as a competitive person, I want him there.
Well, and that's
or
the
any
problem.
Of them there.
You want him there. He's almost like a support mechanism, right, LB? He's like there to like, again, he's there to comfort you and tell you that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more of a PR move.
Right.
On 343's part. But look, we've hired Bravo. And I'm not saying he doesn't put in the work or whatever it is, but until we see proof in the pudding, so to speak.
Right.
If he comes out and says, look, guys, I've seen the 3 new maps. I've commented on a few things. We've done some tweaks. You will like this, competitive people. And then they come out and it's true, then, excuse the pun, but bravo. High five.
Oh, sick burn. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But until we see or hear the fact that it's there, we don't know. We don't know what he's doing. Yes, he may have their ear. He may have this, and he knows what we like. Who knows? They had MLG pros in there for how long? Testing shit beforehand.
Yeah.
And we still got what we got. So I have hope. I'm with you, Kit. Yes, he understands what a lot of people want or what competitive people want, and he's there to comment on it and hopefully guide them. But until we see it come out, I don't know. I'm worried.
And I gotta go with Bubba again. He's my go-to dude. If it makes the comp guys trust 343, then it's worth the money. And I think if you're looking even in our fucking chat, there's a circle jerk about this dude that is large circle jerk over Bravo. You guys are fucking double fisting your cocks over this dude. So clearly 343 has done the job that they set out to do with getting Bravo on, which is make you guys feel comfortable about making new maps for Halo. So, I mean, if he's not, if he's actually not in the room, not designing the maps, it appears like you guys don't care either way if he's in the room. Because he's there, that gives credibility to 343, and therefore you feel comfortable with the maps that they're making. But the question is, how long are you guys going to feel comfortable with the maps that they're making after this first map pack, which no one liked? I don't know when Bravo was hired. Maybe he's just got on. I don't know. I'm not that in deep
just
with
got
it.
on.
Yeah, it's like a week.
Like a week ago? Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. Right. So let me say this. If he just got hired a week ago, these maps that are coming out for this next map pack were probably well underway before he even got his hands on them. In terms of development cycles, normally for any game company, and I just know this from being in this industry for long enough to hate it, that this development cycle is usually already in play. These maps are probably already been tested. They're already out there. So Bravo gets on. He probably gets, maybe 2-3 peeks at the next map pack, makes a decision from there. But he's not going to have any real play, I would say, in this next map pack. And having said that, how long are you guys going to wait around for this great map pack that's going to come? What's the time? And LB's already said, which I have to agree with, they've already dropped the ball on this one, competitive-wise. So now we've got one more coming up in maybe February, possibly March. When is it, and when do we lose that community for a final time? I think Reach was really the last straw. Halo 4 is trying to, kind of the comeback. When is that too much? How long, LB, would you give them 2 more map packs? I mean, and I love the game. I'm with you 100%. Best Halo I've played in a long time, for me. So,
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Because if they start taking on community maps, which there are some good community competitive maps out there, and throw it in a playlist, then that could sustain it for me. But if they don't do that and they just keep rolling with what they got, and then they throw out the second map pack of failure, I don't know. I mean, I put my money into the Bungie basket, and I'll be extremely disappointed. And unfortunately, it's the one game that I've picked to play right now, but I'll just have to wait and see. And if the second map pack sucks, I may just have to eat the shit sandwich that I'm dealt, you know?
Yeah. What do you think, Ed?
Well, I'm locked in for all the map packs, so I'm on board for the ride. I don't know. I'm probably keep playing Halo. Like, I don't see it going away.
No, I don't think it's going to go away either. No.
There's no like big game for another like year. So,
what did you guys? I mean, what about the? I mean, and I know this is going to be a it's not in relation to anything. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But a lot of people are saying that actually, and don't shit on my parade right now, Far Cry was one of the better FPSs to come out in the last couple of years. I know it's like a growing thing too. There seems to be like a movement for Far Cry that's kind of come out of nowhere in the last couple months. What do you guys think about possibly somebody dethroning Call of Duty and Halo in the next coming years? I mean, I feel like these games have a little bit run their course. No, I mean,
I don't know if they've run their course. It's just they're tapping into the secret sauce that's the majority of your players, what they're playing and what they want now. They want that Call of Duty experience. They want, to be able to get their 20, 25 kills in a game and have four deaths. They want the grind, and they want, this and that. That is what's selling. Listen, when it comes down to it, the company only wants to sell. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
If their product is selling, you're keeping your Xbox Live account, you're buying the map packs, that's all they care.
Right.
I would hope that they truly do want to make a well-rounded game, but at the end of the day, it's all about the money.
It's money. It's money. I love LB when he comes at the end of a show and crushes everyone's dreams. They all think it's about creativity and fun and having a good time with your friends. No, people, it's about money. And Twitch will ban your account if you say otherwise. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. I had a great time tonight. Everyone, if you've ever heard of Hitman, he is no longer a part of Twitch. They have absolutely banned his account because apparently he's like a fugitive or something. But if they want to find you, Twitch, and you or Hit, you can no longer say this, but if they want to find you, where could they find you other than Twitch TV since you're now officially banned?
Yeah, well, the only place you can follow me now is Twitter at i6hitman, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Can't find you anywhere else. LB,
nowhere else.
until you get banned, where can they find you?
You can find me at Twitter at LBSUTKE, or that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, that's it. We will be banned from Twitch after talking mad shit about them. So we possibly will be on OWN TV next week at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. Thanks everyone for stopping by. This is a great show today. I love it when we talk about stuff like Halo and we get angry about other things. So we'll have to see what happens with Halo. It's my favorite FPS of all time, probably my favorite video game of all time. I really respect what 343 is doing. I love that they're trying to bring people in. I hope that they communicate a little bit more of the community, and we'll see what happens. But everyone else that came in, thanks for being here. We will see you guys next week. TNT will be live 7 p.m. Central Time. Check your calendars. Check your dates. We might not be on Twitch. Go over to tooltoplay.com/live if you want to catch the show, and subscribe. Later, bitches.
See you guys.
Fuck you, LB.
I'm on the run. I'm a fugitive.